morning, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the How You Can Think podcast. We have our usual suspects, Mr. Serge Romano, Mr. Robert Haugh. By now, if you've been watching the show, you know their brands. But gentlemen, when you start speaking tonight, please reintroduce where you're from. And we have Mr. Magnus Olson. I'll let Magnus say where he's from very shortly. Magnus is actually going to kick off the show tonight because I know he's a big believer in tonight's topic, which is about passion in the workplace and what it does for you in your daily life. So, Magnus, without further ado, don't leave the people in suspense. Let's hear.
Well, passion is everything to me. So it's how I live my life. It's the way I've always lived my life, and it gives me the inspiration, the motivation just to get in and tackle pretty much everything that I do. So I couldn't be in a workplace or a situation without having a degree of passion.
Sure, for sure. And I guess for the people who are wondering, like, we know you do the M26Fit, we know you do some property development. In a nutshell, Magnus, what is a day? What does tomorrow look like for you? What is a day in the life of Magnus look like?
Tomorrow's preparation day, so no training tomorrow, and I made my way up to that property development that I did up in Maloney late this afternoon. So I'm here tonight and tomorrow. So it's all just about preparation and getting ready for the week, planning.
Fantastic. And I think that's something that we all need to take on board, that, when you're wanting to ignite your passion, I think having the ability to plan for that, which, coming from my own personal experience, and those people who've watched this podcast before know what I'm talking about. I'm going to jump to Mr. Robert Haugh next. He's a big planner himself. I know that he is very strategic with things he does. So, mate, how do you implement passion into your daily life?
Thank you, Ben. Cheers, mate. I'm Robert Haugh. I'm a physiotherapist from Inspire Health Services. Look, with passion, passion is the thing that gets you up in the morning. And there's things about my job that I'm certainly passionate about. Obviously, working as a physio, I'm passionate working and just generally helping people, getting back to hitting their goals, getting them back to being able to do what they want to be able to do in their everyday life. I'm passionate about working with my staff. I'm passionate about helping them achieve their goals and hit the markers that they want to. But I think it's important. I'm going to come at it from a different angle. You've got the things that you're passionate about and the things that get you up to work and to do your job to the best of your ability. But there's things that come along with everyone's job that you're probably not going to be so passionate about. And that's just being realistic. And I guess when it comes to that, it's important to know those are still those below the line tasks, or those things that you're not so passionate about. You have to be able to have discipline to be able to get those done in order to work and do the jobs and do the tasks that are within your role that you are passionate about. So I think it's important to know that you're not going to be absolutely passionate about every single job you go into. Every single job comes with tasks that we necessarily don't like to do. That's just the reality of the story. But it's the things that the tasks or the things that you get out of it that you have passion about. Those are the things that that you go to work for, and you just have to make sure that you're doing all the other stuff as well.
Well said, and I think that's a very, very good point, mate. And I think that a lot of people need to value in the fact that discipline does link to passion very strongly. And so I guess that leaves, before I have a go, Mr. Serge Romano. Talk to us about you, Serge, for those people who may be first-time watchers.
Sure.
I know passion is a huge part of who you are, mate, so I'm intrigued to hear your response to this.
Yeah, hi everyone. Serge Romano. I run a company called Leverage Sales Coaching and work predominantly with salespeople and sales management and teams to help them from all things sales. And developing what I call a sales playbook for them ultimately at the end of the day. So that's what I do. And hopefully I do that passionately. And it's something that, well, first of all, let me just agree with a couple of the points specifically that Rob made, and Magnus as well. Obviously, the whole passionate thing is an important thing. I often say that passion has different levels. And, you know, whether you're slightly passionate about something one day because it's not really what you want to be doing, or, you know, you're super passionate about something because it's right in your wheelhouse and it's what gets you up in the morning. The minute that you don't have any passion is the day you've got to leave what you're doing. And I'm a big believer of that. I talk about that with sales team and salespeople all the time. You know, if you're waking up in the morning, hating what you're doing, not liking what you're doing, not invested in what you're doing, then don't do it. And that, some people might say, oh, that's, you know, that, is that really passionate, or is that just that I like doing what I do or don't like doing what I do? At the end of the day, there's got to be a level of passion there. There's got to be an aspect where I say, I can't wait to go in today. I can't wait to do what I do. Or it might be that the level is slightly less because it's not something that, you know, is super exciting for you, but it's still part of your overall passion. And I'm a big believer of making sure that you're a part of that. And that gets driven by your environment, but it also gets driven obviously by yourself. So I don't think there's too much, as I call it, wriggle room here. I mean, you either are passionate to whatever level about what you do, or you're not. And if you're not, stop doing what you're doing and do something else. That's where I sit with it.
That's 3 hard acts to follow, but I'm going to give it a go. So my way of viewing it would be similar to all 3 of you, really. I think that if you're passionate about something, you have to have three things that will tie in. Okay. First is resilience. So you have to have the ability to keep going, like Rob said, when, to be honest, some of the tasks will be below the line, and, you know, those mundane things that we have to do, you know, and that really lends itself to across the industry. Whether you're a tradesman getting up at 4:30 on a, you know, cold morning, whether you're a teacher staying up marking late, whether you're a businessman catching a midnight flight back home with the red eye, whatever it is, I'm sure there's lots of compromises that we all make to make an impact, and, you know, and links to passion. The second thing for me would be, I suppose, emotional capacity. So the ability to give some of ourselves to others to help them improve and be better, and support them, whether we're a coach, whether we're a doctor, whether we're a physio, whether we're a builder, whatever the case may be. I think we have to be willing to give some of ourselves to others. And the third thing links very heavily to that, which is, you know, I almost want to say boundary setting. I think that all 4 of us are experienced enough in what we've done to understand that sometimes people will be void of boundaries, and that can actually kill passion for someone who doesn't know how to ignite or set up those boundaries. So from my perspective, I think that, you know, very strongly, if you can be firm on your boundaries, that will help your ability to stay passionate about things. Whereas if you let people, I suppose, take you over, that can have an impact. And so for from the 4 of us tonight, guys, if you've heard this podcast and you know, you've got questions, like always, whether it's Magnus, Serge, Rob, or myself, please email us on the handles below that you'll see in the podcast. And obviously, Magnus is our guest this evening, so please make sure you give him a shout out on social media, say hello, let him know you liked what he had to say. And guys, until next week, please keep those questions coming. We've got a doozy up. We're going to doozy up for next week's show. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And from me and all the team, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week. So thanks, guys, for listening.